Welcome to the Outer Circle. This is your man, Judster.
This is J-Dog here.
And we're here at J-Dog's Dungeon of... Dungeon.
Yeah.
Anyway, so welcome to our first episode. Yes, you're going to have to bear with us. We are new. So, if we get any new subscribers, please check us out and like us and follow us. We're going to have weekly topics about different things going on. And I think our first big topic that we're going to talk about, I do check YouTube quite a bit. And, you know, I scroll around quite a bit and I see what people are talking about. And one of our big, huge topics that we're going to have just this week is wrestling.
Entertainment.
Okay, that's WWE. But anyways, so if you're a female out there and you go, I don't like wrestling. Why is Judster and J-Dog have to talk about wrestling? Well, next week there are some females. Yes. Thank you for interrupting me. Back to what I was trying to discuss is that each week we have a big group of different types of people, and the outer circle is known as the outer circle. And there are normal people in the circle, and we're outside the circle. So our topics might be controversial to most people, but each week's different topics. So if you don't like this week's topic, just click on the next link. I don't know which way it's going to show, but one of these weeks you're going to like it. I think the following week might be relationship issues. So just check us out. You'll love us. What do you got for us, J-Dog, this week?
What about our predictions about WrestleMania?
Okay, so he wants to bring in the WWE first. He's kind of getting new to this, so we're going to go and work on what this week's WWE is all about. Now, you see that there's a lot of prediction videos out there, a lot of review predictions out here, but we're going to try to keep it as light and entertaining as possible with true facts.
And the matches for this year.
Yes, we will be talking about WrestleMania. Thank you, J-Dog.
No
so
problem,
our first topic is WWE. Now,
Skillet.
Now we probably already lost a female geographics here, but for our wrestling fans, we all know who WWE is all about. WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, at its best. Entertainment is the key word. We're going to first talk about our topics of worst and best wrestlers of today. Now we can go on and on about old-time wrestlers. John Cena. John Cena is the worst wrestler. I'm sorry, I'm a non-Cena fan. Why is he not a good wrestler?
The fan base.
You're not in the screen.
The fan base, and he's becoming stale.
True, his character is being stale, but yes, he does have a big fan base of little children. Why is he not a good wrestler? You still have not hit the topic of wrestling moves. As a wrestler,
he only has 5 main moves.
Yes, as a wrestler he has 5 main moves. He's like The Rock, but yet The Rock can back up his shit. Sorry to cuss.
And Cena's only good on the mic.
Yes, Cena has a loud mouth. He can come up with things that are written down for writers to write down for him, so he can memorize it just like a movie script. Yet again, a worst wrestler. He can't speak for himself, yet he also can't wrestle for himself. Last week he did a drop kick, and the week before he did a hurricanrana. Though if you watch wrestling, you're going to see that it's not as pretty as his face.
I mean, he tries to pull off some new moves in his repertoire, but it ain't working for him.
True. One of the best wrestlers of today, I would have to throw hands down Dolph Ziggler, and if you agree, please hit the like button down below. Dolph Ziggler, great wrestler, great ring attitude. Needs a little work on his talk on the mic, but great wrestler all around.
Okay, now what about CM Punk?
CM Punk, yes, is also a very good wrestler. He came from Ring of Honor, went through, which was which.
Also was in TNA.
Yes, he's been around. I do believe that he got his screw job out of the 434 days of his belt ring. Some of the other better wrestlers that I like of today would be not very many at WWE. Sorry to, if you have anything to share, I don't really have much to share as good wrestlers that's in the WWE anymore.
Brock Lesnar has a pretty good fan base and background, but other than that, and the Shield.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you, but it's like 5:48 of time, so we're going to have to move on with our topics. Moving on! WrestleMania. If you know wrestling, you know WrestleMania. WWE's biggest pay-per-view of the year! What do we got in store for the WrestleMania?
Just predicted one of the matches are going to be Mark Henry versus Ryback. What do you think?
Squash match. What's going to happen is Ryback's going to have most of the match. Mark Henry's going to come back, do a Mark Henry slam, and it's the end.
Another one that we just found out, Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler.
Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler. Very good match. Good. WWE did something good for once. I think it's going to be a great match. It's going to have a lot of technical wrestling, and I think Jericho's going to take the match, though. Only reason why I feel that is because I think Dolph Ziggler's going to get upset after the match, take his chance at John Cena, because John Cena's obviously going to win the Rock-Cena match, and he's going to get his fame.
But he has AJ. Where do you think AJ played the part in that?
They're going to send AJ and what's-his-face back to the outside, or back to the back room, just like they have been.
Oh, then you got, plus on top of that, you got the Shield versus Big Show, Sheamus, and Randy Orton. Which
I would love to see the Shield win it.
I could see Randy Orton and Sheamus coexisting, but the Big Show, come on.
Yeah, with the Big Show being such a heel, I don't even see why he is teaming up with the other two idiots just to take on the Shield. Though the Shield, I would love to see win.
Now, what do you think about the primetime players versus Team Hell No?
That's a squash match. It's going to be a 2-minute match. It's just a fill-in match. I'm not even going to fucking predict anything off of that because I think it's a waste of time, personally.
Plus, you got that up-and-comer, Bo Dallas, versus Barrett. The new movie star.
I don't care.
What do you think he is?
Barrett, I'm taking Barrett all the way. Sorry, I'm a Barrett fan. I like his grudge kind of attitude. Then you have the Undertaker versus Punk match. Call it already. Cut it already. Undertaker's gonna win. He's my boy.
But that's gonna be one of the main matches, so I'm guessing they're gonna hold it to the end.
True.
So, plus they got the Miz versus Cesaro again.
Miz and Cesaro. I don't even give a fuck what his name is. I'm believing Miz is gonna take it.
The dude who knows can speak 5 different languages at once.
Very true. But that's not gonna help in the ring when he's getting his mouth punched by the Miz. So
apparently that's his gimmick that they came up with. But I don't
see it happening. Moving on to a more important match, Rock versus Cena. Wow.
Well, it could go either way. They could tie it, or John Cena could win it, and they could tie it, and then they could fight again. Or
let me explain this to you, J-Dog. Let me explain this to you, J-Dog. The Rock. Do you see him after WrestleMania even staying in the WWE? I don't think so.
He only came back just to fucking come back.
The only way The Rock would win is then Dolph Ziggler coming out and pinning The Rock.
Well, you know
for the
Dolph
belt.
Ziggler's gonna come out and pin.
He's gonna come out and pin whoever, I believe, is a prediction. But
Dolph Ziggler has the Money in the Bank for the fucking world title. So
not necessarily true. He can go for either one of them. He hasn't told us which one he was going to go for yet. So it's on the fence if he's going to go for the Alberto and Jack Swagger.
What do you think about that match?
my screen just lost. Hey, I'm still there. Alright.
And yeah.
Don't touch
We had
it?
a little
Okay,
brain
sorry
freeze from
about
that.
the difficulties or whatever, but Swagger is a horrible title holder. If you've seen him before as a title champion, it's horrible, and he's very stale on the mic. So I would believe Alberto to keeping the belt. I believe that he would make the best choice. I believe that after WrestleMania, Alberto should lose the belt, but to someone that can at least hold the belt for longer than a week.
Now, what do you think about Swagger's gimmick and his teaming with
it's
Dirty
stale.
Dutch Mantel?
He's stale. Jack Swagger is a very stale wrestler. He's a good wrestler. He does have background in wrestling, but yet his character is very stale. That's why he had a new haircut, if you haven't noticed.
And let's talk about how he's been absent for the past who knows how long. He called for a break. He said he wanted to leave.
And you know why he called for an absence? Because he was working on his wrestling abilities and his gimmick.
True, but why
Moving on, it's already 11 and 30 minutes.
Okay. Next
Long
topic.
time. I'm
next
sorry.
topic. TNA.
TNA. Titties and ass.
No, not
really. Total non-stop action. Or, otherwise, Hogan Wrestling. Sorry, I had to throw that out there.
Being that Hogan calls all the shots in there.
Very true. And he's a very egotistical wrestler. But moving on, trends of TNA right now.
Aces and eights.
Aces and eights. One of the simplest, best choices that TNA did. Everybody loves surprises. Everybody loves a masked wrestler known coming out as a regular wrestler known. Some of the best and worst wrestlers of today in TNA. I can't think of very many worse wrestlers besides Robbie T and E.
Best wrestler. Well, Robbie T's gimmick, or Robbie T can be a good wrestler. It's just a gimmick right now.
You just love big guys.
No, his gimmick right now sucks. Cause
Robbie E's gimmick sucks.
That's what I'm talking
That whole
about.
thing sucks. They're trying to make him turn out to be like a Brodus Clay, and it's not gonna work that way.
Now,
With
the
his
greatest
dancing.
wrestler,
Greatest wrestler.
Austin Aries.
As a heel, yeah, he is a good wrestler. I don't know if he's the greatest, but he is a good wrestler.
Okay, well, let's go with he's the best wrestler in TNA right now. One of the best, I should say.
What do you think Kurt Angle is?
Well, he's a veteran.
Yes, he is a veteran, but he also can hold his own.
Let's just look like with the teacher versus the student at Lockdown. You got Kurt Angle versus Wes Briscoe. Come on.
Who do you think's gonna win that?
It's gonna be a squash match.
You think so? In a steel cage. You really think it's going to be a squash match for Kurt Angle, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, versus Wes Briscoe with...
Yeah, but think of
who knows?
Think of Wes Briscoe's background, his family.
Exactly, his background, his family, not him in particular. Which is exactly why I bring up WWE and all the reigns of the families down below that come in, such as Cody Rhodes.
No, DiBiase.
Any of them. They come down because of their last names, not as because they're just a great wrestler or whatnot. So, I believe in that match that Kurt Angle is going to take over Wes Briscoe, because aces and eights can't come in that steel cage unless they magically climb over, which could easily happen.
Okay, I want to talk about, for one...
What do you want to talk about, J-Dog?
This dude don't have nothing to do with...
I don't know who you're pointing at because I don't see it on camera.
He don't know nothing about the knockouts, so... Let's talk about the match with...
Now, I know TNA knockouts. I do not know WWE Divas knockouts.
Let's talk about Gail Kim and Velvet Sky.
Okay.
at Lockdown.
Either you want to talk about their looks or you want to talk about their wrestling abilities. Because personally, Velvet Sky would tear off Velvet Kim's looks any day. But as an Asian, she's kind of cute. But Velvet Sky can't wrestle, and we all know it.
But she's very popular right now.
Very popular. Gail Kim, on the other hand, is a very good wrestler, but
not popular.
Not so popular with the fan group. So it could go either way, because TNA likes to turn their heels as champions, as we can all see.
Alright.
So what's one of the other matches?
Then you got Robbie T versus Robbie E.
Squash match. We all know that's a squash match. You know that Robbie T, the big mother effer, is going to throw Robbie E around.
Take the match.
Take the match.
Then you got Bully Ray, Hulk Hogan's new, apparently, son-in-law, versus Jeff Hardy.
Oh my God, we need a new champion. I'm sorry, I do like Jeff Hardy back in the 90s.
But he does make his own music and have his own band, but come on, man.
We also had Shawn Michaels make his own theme music. So what?
Come on, man. They need like a new champion.
We're having dead space here, but
well, let's move on to another topic.
No. This is the championship topic. Jeff Hardy is a fan-based wrestler. People love Jeff Hardy. Really love Jeff Hardy. Only problem is, he's horrible on the mic skills. He can't speak for himself. He's horribly, and he just can't talk.
That's why you always see him in the background.
But
you never see him in the light.
Right, and that's what the outer circle is all about. The inner circle is the inner light. We're the outside people.
Okay, Jester.
But anyways, back to what I was saying. Jeff Hardy should take a break for a while and kind of like spice up his moves, sets a little bit. Bully Ray should get the title. Why? Because he's been champion, tag champion forever. Has never had a world title shot. And I think as being champion with the storyline with Hogan being in the family, they'll rule the TNA scene for a while. I see it happening.
Okay, well, what do you think about Kurt Angle and his little revealing of the new Ace and Eighth member last week?
Now I have some predictions on that.
What are your ideas?
Some people are gonna think that I have a horrible idea, but I believe it's Jeff Jarrett that's behind that mask with pillowcases or a bodysuit or whatever he might have up his sleeve. But I believe that he could easily be the leader, the pack.
Well, what about Eric Bischoff?
Could be. It could be really anybody, but if you've watched the last TNA episode, it did say, why did you turn on us? Why are you doing this? And it kind of cut off. So if you really think about it, who's the founder of TNA? Jeff Jarrett. And he's been out of the scene for a while. He's been in India. And now his show kind of fell through in India. So, you know, now he has no storyline. So they're going to throw him into the pack with the Wolves. So, I'm going to try to cut this short and sweet.
Okay, last topic, Lethal Lockdown.
The 6 men, 3 tag teams
versus Team TNA. Where do you think they're going to go with that?
I like the Aces and Eights, so I'm going to have to go with them. Sorry, I'm not even going to go into everything because it's going to last a lot longer than this 20 minutes it's already been running. So I'm just going to say it's going to be Aces and Eights. And the 6-man tag with Rude and Aries versus Daniels and Kazari versus Hernandez and Chavo. Hernandez and Chavo is going to be out of it. I love Hernandez, but I hate Chavo. Aries and Rude, I love them. I see them taking the belt, even though Daniels and Kazarias are very funny, and they're also heels. So I think both of those teams are going to tag team up on Chavo and Hernandez.
I want to throw in one more topic in here, and then we'll close out the show. What do you think about AJ Styles' attitude right now?
I think it's very sad. I'm a huge Styles fan. I'm actually somewhat of a wrestler, and I like a lot of his movesets. Only problem is they're sending him off, and I do agree with them to send him off for a little while. They don't really have much of a storyline for him. He's taking a break. I mean, he's one of the originals of TNA, so I mean, I shoot for him. I hope he comes back and dominates TNA once again. So I will close out this show at the dungeon. Please check each week on our shows. Once again, like us at the bottom or subscribe to us, and let's make our fan base. Yeah, it's much needed. So let's make our fan base pretty big, and the more people that join us, the bigger.
The more shows we'll put on.
Yes, we will. So once again, we are here, and we are the Outer Circle.